Hey everyone, I'm showing you my ugly mug again here, and I'm doing a little bit different type of video than I've ever done before on my channel. I'm going to give you a recommendation on a product for us fellow collectors that I think a lot of you would enjoy. It is a book that I've had the privilege of reading, and I've been able to get to know the author some, and it's a book I've read myself, I really enjoy, and I recommend and encourage other people to seek it out. The book is called Never Cheaper by the Dozen, and this book deals with your regional food type issues and other free prize type cards that were issued from 1947 to 1971. It's what he considers the golden era of that type of sports collectible, and it hard to argue with that not being that golden era where you had so many products that were offered out that were designed to lure children and sports fans into the products by offering these free prize type items that were inside the packages, had to be cut from the boxes, or inside packaging, in some cases possibly even mail redemptions, all sorts of items that were available during that time. And in his book he's highlighting basically just some of the most significant sets from that era, and ones that had some of the most interesting stories about them. Now, this book, it's kind of different. Most of your books that center on our collecting hobby turn into one of either two things. They're either a checklist or a catalog where it's like, this set has these many cards and was issued in this year, and it features these players, and this one, it tells you maybe short printed or something like that. Or it's simply a price guide and gives you a pricing information that's only relevant for a couple of months, and then pricing changes on something and it's useless after that point either. And this book is not anything really like that. I mean, he does talk about values and pricing to some degree, but it's much more about the cards themselves, and even more the collectors that pursued these items, and mostly that is dealing with young kids, young collectors during that era, and some of basically what would have been the weirdos of the time who were adults at this era that were pursuing these items as well. Because you have to remember, during this era there was no organized adult collecting sports card hobby like there is now. Any adults that collected these items would have been looked at as a little bit odd to be, acquiring what were items designed for kids at the time, and were items that were basically seen as not having any value. I mean, they were being given away for free. So, but it's got, just a ton of information, great stories about the cards, how they were issued, the things that individual collectors would do trying to acquire them. Because when you're dealing with a card that you had to get from a cereal box, and that cereal costs more than even your allowance perhaps, it became quite a task to make sure that you could get that special card of that player that you wanted, which it was certainly more difficult than just going to your grocery store or wherever and picking up a pack of Topps cards at the time. You had to go shopping with your mom and try and make sure that she picked out the right box of cereal, not only the right brand, but possibly you had to check the backs of each box of cereal to see which cards were on there so you knew you got the one that you wanted. And if you're only acquiring, one, maybe two cards at a time per purchase, and your mom went grocery shopping once a week or maybe even less frequently than that, and you wanted to try and get an entire set, say it was a team set of your favorite team that was being released, and you wanted all 15 of the Kansas City Royal or whatever team that was being featured, it would take you a long time and a lot of work to try and acquire all of those cards when you could only get one, maybe two cards every other week or every week. And if you had a sibling that also was trying to collect it, boy, you were really in for a tough time. So just lots and lots of really great stories. Some of the, because of the era, Mickey Mantle is very prevalent in this book, so collectors of his stuff. Also Sandy Koufax features in there pretty prominently. At least one chapter that deals with Jackie Robinson's cards as well. It's got just lots and lots of great information. Full disclosure, like I said, I got to know the author after I read his book, because we are both members of a online forum for vintage card collectors, and he'd mentioned he had a book that he'd written, and I reached out to him, asked him about it, and I sent away the money for the book last December, I believe, maybe November, and I read the book and really enjoyed it. Started, asking more questions and talking to him, and just, really great, knowledgeable guy. And, as I enjoyed the book so much, and, he's invested lots of work into this, and, he's sold some copies, but not near as many as I would think something like this would deserve. And so he's not asking me to do this. I'm not getting anything from him by doing this. It's just, an item that I definitely think is worthwhile and would be appreciated by lots of other collectors. And it's doing something to help out somebody I consider a friend as well. So that is my endorsement of the book. As far as what the book is, it is available in two formats. Now, if he'd actually printed this book out, as a bound hardback copy, it would be monstrous, and you wouldn't. It would cost $75 with color pictures and everything like that. So to make it more affordable, what he originally did is he put it on CD-ROM, and that's how it was when I purchased it in the CD-ROM format. I got it for $30, and I don't even own a computer that has a CD-ROM drive. So the way I had to read this book was I took it with me to work. I popped it into my computer here at work, and whenever I went to my break or when I was eating my lunch at my desk, I could pop it. I could pull open the reader file for the book, and I could read a couple of pages here and there. So it took me several weeks to finish this book, but I'm telling you, it was absolutely 100% worth it in every way. And I paid $30 to get it in that format. Since then, he's actually put it available as a digital book on Amazon.com, so you can download it to your device or to your computer, whatever. And I actually bought a second copy of the book through Amazon's marketplace and put it on my Kindle Fire so that I would have access to it that way. If you're a member of Amazon's, they have like a membership program through their library that allows you to download certain books for free. This one is actually one that you can download for free from that. If you're not a member of that, you can get the book for $10. $10, and I'm telling you, the information you're going to get is well worth that. If you prefer something else and you want it in this, I'm going to include a link to where you can get it through Amazon, and I'll also include a email address to contact him if you'd like to purchase it in the CD-ROM format. And you can reach out to him, and he'll give you the information to get it in the CD-ROM format, if you will. And actually, I think what I'm going to do is this item is going to be part of my 100 subscribers contest that I'm going to be having an announcement video about here in the next couple of days. So, if I'm going to give away a copy of this, either my CD-ROM copy, or if you'd prefer the digital copy, I'll hook somebody up with an Amazon gift card so that they can purchase it that way. But one way or another, and if you've already purchased it before we get to my contest, hey, I'll just reimburse you whatever for it. So this is going to be part of that giveaway, but hey, you don't have to wait for that. If you want the item, the book, you want to start learning, and believe me, there's a lot of stuff you can learn in this. Just check out that information down below, and until next time, I will talk to you all later. Have a great one, everyone.